The Power of Compound Interest Explained, the wealth secret most people never learn. Have you ever stopped for a moment and wondered why some people seem to create wealth almost effortlessly, while others spend their whole lives working hard, trying to save, trying to invest, trying to get ahead, and yet they barely move forward? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't struggle with money because they're lazy, or because they don't earn enough, or because they're bad with numbers. The real reason is simpler and a little shocking. Most people never become wealthy because they don't understand how compound interest works, or they start using it way too late. And honestly, once you understand this concept clearly, not the confusing textbook version, but the simple real-life version, everything about money becomes easier. Your saving makes sense. Your investing makes sense. Your long-term goals finally have a path, even if you're starting with little money, no fancy job, and zero financial knowledge. Compound interest can still turn your financial life around. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how compound interest works, why it's so powerful, how the wealthy use it, how you can use it, and the step-by-step system that can help you build wealth, retire early, and achieve financial freedom, even if you're starting from scratch. And if you enjoy real, beginner-friendly finance videos that actually aim to help you grow your money, consider tapping that like button. It doesn't cost anything, but helps this channel reach more people who need this information. The secret behind effortless wealth. Compound interest isn't about how much money you make. It's about how well your money works for you. Imagine having 10 employees working for you 24/7. Never sleeping, never complaining, never taking vacations, and every year they bring more employees to help them. That's compound interest. Your initial savings are your first employee. Your interest becomes the second employee. Then the interest on your interest becomes the third, fourth, fifth, and eventually the 100th employee. Most people focus on trying to earn more money through their job, but they never focus on growing the team of dollars working for them. And the thing about compound interest is this. It starts small, frustratingly small. So small that most people give up on it. But then it hits the tipping point. That's when things get exciting. What compound interest really is, the simple version. Let's make this extremely beginner-friendly. Compound interest is when your money earns money, and that new money earns even more money. And the cycle repeats forever. You don't do extra work. You don't put in extra hours. You don't need to get lucky. Time does the heavy lifting. It's growth that feeds on itself. That's why Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. But here's what people get wrong. They think compound interest is a math concept. It's not. Compound interest is a time concept. And time is the one thing you can never get back. Let me explain with a story. The tale of two investors. Say we have two friends, Sarah and Michael. Sarah starts investing at 20. Michael starts at 30. Both invest $200 a month. Both get an average long-term return of 7%. Both stop investing at 60. Now think carefully. Who ends up with more? Most beginners think the answer is obvious. They both invested the same amount monthly, so the difference shouldn't be that huge. But here's where the magic reveals itself. Sarah, the one who started at 20, ends up with almost double what Michael has, even though she invested the same monthly amount. This is why starting early matters more than starting big. When people say time in the market beats timing the market, this is exactly what they mean. The lesson is simple. If you start early even with tiny amounts, your future self will thank you. And if you feel like you're starting late, don't panic. The second best time to start is right now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Not when life gets easier. Today, no matter the amount. And if you're learning something new so far, consider subscribing for more practical finance videos that are easy to understand. Let's grow together. Where compound interest shows up in real life. You may think compound interest only applies to investing, but it's actually everywhere. It shows up in your savings accounts, your retirement accounts, your index funds and ETFs, your dividends and reinvested earnings, and, unfortunately, also in your debt, especially credit card debt. You're either using compound interest or compound interest is being used against you. Let's talk about how to use it the right way. Start early, even if you start small. One of the biggest myths in personal finance is that you need a lot of money to invest. Absolutely not. Investing isn't about starting big. It's about starting early and staying consistent. Imagine planting a tiny seed. The seed doesn't become a tree tomorrow, but if you water it consistently, even a little bit, it grows roots, then a trunk, then branches, and eventually you get shade, fruit, and more seeds to plant. Your money works the same way. Even $25 a week can grow into tens of thousands of dollars over time. Even $50 a month can turn into something meaningful. The point isn't the amount, it's the habit. Let me share a real-world example. The $7 million secretary. There was a woman named Grace Groner. She worked as a secretary. She never earned a high salary. She never drove fancy cars. She never owned a mansion. When she passed away, she left behind over $7 million, and she donated all of it to charity. Automate your money. Most people fail not because the strategy is hard, but because consistency is hard. Life gets busy. We forget. We doubt. We get emotional. Automation fixes all of that. Set up automatic contributions into index funds, ETFs, retirement accounts, or your brokerage accounts. Once it's automated, your money grows, whether you're motivated or not. This is exactly how wealthy people build wealth quietly. Not through hype, but through systems. One of the smartest decisions you can make is removing your emotions from your money. Automation doesn't get scared. Automation doesn't skip months. Automation just works. Reinvest everything, the secret sauce. Compound interest becomes powerful only when you reinvest your gains. When you receive dividends, reinvest them. When your money earns interest, reinvest it. When your returns grow, reinvest them. Imagine having a snowball. If every time it grows, you scoop off the extra snow, it stays the same size. But if you let it roll down the hill, picking up more and more snow, eventually it becomes so big it doesn't need your push. This is why reinvesting your earnings is crucial. Your money grows faster when you leave it alone. Patience, the part no one tells you about. Here is the part no one warns you about. Compound interest feels disappointing in the early years. You might invest for a year and think, that's it? I only earned this much? But the beginning is supposed to be slow. All exponential growth starts slow. Think about bamboo. For several years, nothing happens. It grows underground. It builds roots. Then in 1 year, it shoots up over 80 feet. Your wealth works the same way. The first few years might feel boring, but once your money hits that growth curve, it becomes unstoppable. When your money makes more than you do, this is the dream. The moment when your investments earn more per year than your job pays you. You might be earning $40,000 from your job, but your investments could be earning $50,000 in the background. That's when you're officially on the path to financial freedom. This is how people retire early. This is how passive income becomes reality. This is how generational wealth is created. The secret is not having a giant income. It's having money that earns money faster than you can. And you get there through consistent investing, reinvesting, patience, and letting compound interest work its magic. Let your budget support your wealth. You don't need extreme budgeting. You don't need to stop buying coffee. But you do need to understand where your money goes. When you cut waste and redirect even a little bit toward investments, your future wealth changes dramatically. An extra $50 invested monthly could turn into over $100,000 in a few decades. An extra $100 could turn into nearly $300,000. Budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about direction. Avoid high-interest debt. Credit cards use compound interest too, but in reverse. If you owe money, compound interest grows against you, and it grows aggressively. If compound interest is the greatest tool for building wealth, compound debt is the fastest way to destroy it. So protect your credit score. Avoid carrying balances on high-interest cards. Pay off debt as soon as you can. Once you escape bad debt, your money can finally work for you instead of the banks. Build multiple income streams. Once you understand compound interest, something interesting happens. You want to feed it. You want to put more money toward investments. You want to increase your contributions. You want to watch that curve rise faster. One of the best ways to do that is by building multiple income streams. Side hustles, online income, freelancing, digital products, rental income, small businesses. These streams add fuel to your investment engine. Even an extra $100 a month can significantly boost your future wealth. The goal is not to work harder forever, but to help your investments grow big enough that you don't have to. The emotional side of wealth. Wealth is not just numbers. It's emotions. It's habits. It's mindset. You need patience when others panic. You need discipline when others spend. You need faith in the process when the market makes you doubt everything. Building wealth isn't just about money. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle money wisely. The people who become wealthy aren't the ones who make the most money. They are the ones who can manage it, grow it, protect it, and wait for it. Final thoughts. Let's recap the core lessons. Compound interest is your greatest financial superpower. Time matters more than money. Small, consistent investments beat large, inconsistent ones. Reinvest everything. Automate your contributions. Avoid high-interest debt. Use budgeting to fund your investments. Build additional income streams to accelerate growth. Be patient enough to let the curve bend upward. Even if you're starting today with just a tiny amount, that tiny amount has the potential to become something life-changing. Your future wealth starts with your next decision, not your next paycheck. Call to action. If this video helped you understand the true power of compound interest, hit the like button. It supports the channel and helps more people discover this content. Share the video with someone who needs to start building wealth early. And if you want more simple, beginner-friendly finance tips that actually work, make sure to subscribe to Finance Compass. Before you go, answer this question in the comments. What age did you start investing? Or what age do you wish you started? I'll be reading and replying to as many comments as I can.